日本時間4日にエンゼルスからフリーエージェント FA となった大谷翔平。今季は日本人初のメジャーリーグ本塁打王を獲得し、2年連続で2桁勝利2桁ホームランもマークするなど数々の偉業を達成してきました。16日には史上初となる2度目の満票受賞で、ア・リーグ MVP に選出された二刀流スターの去就は、現地でも大きな注目が集まっています。そんな中、MLB 専門局、MLB ネットワークの番組、MLB ホットストーブでは、ゲストに投球分析家、ピッチング忍者としてネットで有名になり、FOX スポーツなどでアナリストとしても活躍するロブ・フリードマン氏が出演し、今季、大谷がマウンドで見せた特徴的だった仕草をピックアップし、
ショーヘイ大谷は音楽的才能も持ち合わせている。彼は文字通り三刀流のプレイヤーになった。
と、ユーモアを交えながらコメントしていましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
Threw the heck out of it. That's why he did it.
I love in your season-ending awards this year, you have also credited the receiver, and you have a positive affirmation award to hand out.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things all year, too. This is Adley Rutschman, who is fantastic. I mean, look at him encourage his pitcher here. Fuji needs a confidence boost. He's like, is that a little off the plate? And Adley's like, no, it was beautiful. What a good dude. I love watching him work back there.
You know what I love about that frame job of Rutschman, and he's one of the guys that does it well. It's not that exaggerated swipe back into the strike zone. It might have been a little bit there, but man, so many times a guy will cost his pitcher more than he actually helps him by over-exaggerating the frame job.
Thank you.
That was pretty close.
Umpires don't like it. Now I know that there's a system in place that they're just based on the metrics of the strike zone. But yeah,
he was close to doing it there, though.
That was good.
Very fine line between.
You got another one, Rob?
Oh, I've got a ton.
No, I know.
We can go all day on these.
We got another good one that you have kind of conjured up orchestral music for your next award.
Are we doing the Shohei, the most musical? Paired it up with John Williams. I mean, look at this. A man can do anything. He's literally a three-way player.
That's great.
Hey, Rob, while we have you, and I kind of said it, cheekily a moment ago, this distinction between the sweeper and the slider caught us all off guard at the beginning of the year because we didn't know it was going to be a thing. There are still a lot of people, myself among them, who feel like the sweeper is just a nastier slider and we didn't need the additional designation. Do you know who to blame for this? Like, was it Petriello? Who was it that pushed the sweeper on us?
I would say when in doubt, blame Petriello.
Okay.
また、ロブ・フリードマン氏は、今月の3日にも独自で選ぶ賞、ピッチ・オブ・ザ・イヤーを発表し、大谷が3月の WBC 決勝で投げた最後の1球を選出しています。X、旧ツイッターでその時の動画とともに、
受賞したのは、翔平大谷がマイク・トラウトから三振を奪い WBC 優勝を決めたスイーパーです。
と投稿していました。侍ジャパンと米国代表による WBC 決勝は、3月21日にフロリダ州マイアミのローンデポパークで行われ、侍ジャパンの大谷が3対2と1点リードの9回に抑えとして登板。西無走者でエンゼルスのチームメイト、マイク・トラウトと対戦し、フルカウントで外角に約43センチも大きく曲がるスイーパーで空振り三振を奪いました。この名勝負には日米のみならず世界中の野球ファンが熱狂し、米国でも今季の名シーンとして多くのメディアで取り上げられました。また、大谷の二刀流について、ニューヨークのテレビ放送局、SNY の番組、ベースボールナイトインニューヨークでは、大谷翔平の将来についてのトークテーマで、
二刀流選手であることが今後どのような影響を与えるか
について議論していましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
With the offensive side, we saw the most recent signing last year in Aaron Judge coming off the MVP. Ohtani now is a two-time MVP. He can't be less than Judge. I know Judge was a position player that played right field, but if Ohtani wasn't pitching, he would be, I think, a position player. So I think you have to start at that $360 million level for 10 years. The agent isn't going to accept less, and there are plenty of teams that would go ahead and do that right out of the gate. Now you got to factor in his pitching. We just saw Nola at age 30 get a 7-year deal. All right, so you want to subtract a year because he's injured. It has to at least be somewhere in the same AAV as Aaron Nola. So the starting point for me is right around 24.5, 25 million times 6. I think there are teams that are willing to give him more than that. By the way, don't forget that if he doesn't start down the stretch, you can put him at the back end and have him close too. So you have protection there in case it doesn't turn out to be a starter in years 4, 5, or 6, somewhere along those lines. So you see the numbers add up very quickly. That's how you get to over 500 million. And I think he's easily going to get there because of the competition of Mets, Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Rangers. I mean, 5 teams right there. Every one of those owners has kind of showed their hands that they have a lot of interest in him. So I think that's the easier way to kind of look at it. Even, this is assuming now that the medical doesn't knock him down, because of that latest injury and surgery that he has.
Yeah, and even at 500 million, I still think he's a great value. All right, Adam, you're the only one of us that actually plays. Do you think Ohtani should remain a two-way player? I mean, I know you guys marvel at what he's been able to do here. Is it sustainable long-term to remain a two-way player?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. We don't know yet if it's sustainable, but to me, it's ridiculous. Like, he has to be a two-way player because this is a special thing. Why would you try to take away from that? I mean, we've never seen it. And we all want to see how long he can go doing this. I mean, truthfully, he's a special player. He's going to be driving the bus on this. And you're not getting him if you're not letting him be a two-way player. This is what he wants to do. And that's just the bottom line. He has a ton of leverage.
And that's really where his value is. Now, would you consider moving into the bullpen and maybe lessen the load eventually?
I mean, that would be something that, again, would be driven by Shohei, in my opinion. I think at the moment, it's actually a lot easier to plan around a start. He knows exactly how much time he has to recover and get ready for his start, and he can kind of dictate how often he's in and out of the lineup. As a bullpen guy, it's a lot more unpredictable.
Well, you'd be the DH. I mean, I'm just fascinated by this, right? How would you be a DH and then get ready, get hot in the bullpen?
You'd have to time it out, right? You'd have to be running out there, running back in. Maybe you throw in the cage. I mean, it would be unorthodox, certainly. And he did it. He closed the game in the WBC.
He did. That's
He
true.
can do this, but I don't see him wanting to do that. And I also would caution that being a reliever is not as easy as people think workload-wise. And if the goal is to stay healthy, I don't know if that's the best avenue.
Yeah, how do you feel when people are like, I just put him in the bullpen? That's the
Well, I mean, I will say, is it an easier job? Yes. But workload-wise, and in terms of longevity, I don't think so.
今までにない二刀流の FA。周知の通り、世界的なアイコンである二刀流スーパースターに次の10年を託したいと願うチームはあまりにも多く、その反面、大きな金額になるからこそ、各球団が慎重になるのも無理はありません。ウィンターミーティングまで残り約2週間、各球団も決断が迫られています。これからも大谷の活躍から目が離せません。皆様からのコメントもお待ちしております。